Now, this, of course, is the week leading up to the U of L game, and for each third block of our show this week, the final block, we're going to go behind enemy lines, and tonight we're happy to welcome back a familiar face, Tony Vanetti. First of all, before we get into it, it's good to have you back. I mean, it should be awkward sometimes when you see like an ex-girlfriend, but it's good to have you back. It feels comfortable.
It does feel comfortable. I feel back at home here at KSTV. Thanks for the invite.
You kind of look like a cheerleader from the 50s, though, a little bit. Like,
everyone's been making fun of my sweater here, and yes, golly gee, let's get it on.
Yeah.
All I need is a convertible roadster right now. We're rolling down the road for the game at the Yum Center.
Big mega horn. Let's go Cards!
Let's go Cards!
But Saturday's game, of course, is Kentucky's first real test since they lost 2 games against Baylor and Notre Dame. Louisville's looked great for most of the season, pretty much right out of the gate. They're expected to be a big favorite. I haven't seen a line on it yet. Do you buy going into this game that Louisville is a considerable favorite over this Kentucky team?
Well, I think the big thing is Gorgui Dieng. Is he going to play? In my opinion, he will not play in this game. I know you and everyone else is like, this is a Rick trick. I get it. But that injury is 6 to 8 weeks. It'll be 5.5 weeks on Saturday. He will not play in this game. It'll be a Gorgui-less U of L game against Kentucky, and I think that makes a huge difference.
For UK fans that haven't watched, and Ravi and I just talked about the starting lineups, if they put Zach Price, Stephen Van Treese, Montrezl Harrell, what's the difference there?
Louisville has nobody on the roster, I don't think, that can handle Noel or Willie Cauley-Stein. I really think, and there's some teams, lesser teams like Kentucky, that have gotten to the rim with ease. It has concerned Rick. He's mentioned it in his press conference. He's mentioned it in his talking points after games. It's a concern for him that in the paint, this will be the perimeter versus the post by far. Yep. Gorgui Dieng will not play, and you've got Montrezl Harrell. He'll play the 5 for most of the minutes. Van Treese has got bad knees at this point. He has not practiced a lot, but he can play about 8 to 10 minutes.
When you look at this, to me, what concerns me with Kentucky is the defensive pressure Louisville puts on, because it's a veteran group.
Sure.
They are physical. They attack. And Kentucky is a team that looks like they shy away from that contact. Is that the game plan for Rick? I mean, in years past, it has been aggressive defensively, but that has to be what they do,
points off turnovers. That's how this team scores and has scored last year. Remember that. It's point off turnovers. But they have perfected this full court press. You've got Russ and Siva out top. Now, you're right. The deeper bench for Louisville, because they go to the bench and bring off Ware and Hancock and Montrez, and then they keep the pressure on. So if Kentucky can keep Louisville's runs, just like last year against Kentucky, keep Kentucky's runs to 6 or 7 instead of 12 or 13, and then you got a chance at the end.
How important is it for Rick Pitino? I mean, we see the stat all the time. Calipari has beat him since he's been at Kentucky. How important is this game now that he has a better team? Is it in relation to the season, but in terms of his head-to-head with Calipari, how important?
Okay, that's a good question, because at this point, has Louisville fan conceded the Calipari era?
I mean, this is good. I think up until this season, they would have said, you know what, Cal's doing something special. But now you see this group has not meshed maybe as well as the other teams. And finally, Pitino has pieces, the veteran guys that he's been saying are going to help them. I think
Louisville fan believes this game is obviously important, and they want to beat Cal, especially on your home floor. And they think they probably are pretty confident it's going to happen. But I tell you, it really is the end of the year. Like, Louisville wants this monkey off their back. Right. They want a championship. This is the team in a year they can win it that it's more important. Most of the fans that call into my show are Gorgui, they want Gorgui to play, but if it means holding him out and getting healthier for the end of the season, let's do that.
When I look at this game, I look at Kentucky. I think for Rick Pitino, it's more important than it is for John Calipari to win this game. But I think for the teams, this Kentucky team has to make a statement, because they kind of fell flat. They really did fall flat against Baylor and Notre Dame. Maryland was okay. They were decent. They were all right against Duke. But the last 4 games have been blowouts. They haven't had a chance to really make a statement and say, I mean, they're not the top 25. One of the polls,
they win this game, TJ, it changes everything.
Oh, yeah, because I think their opportunity, they assert themselves. And if you beat Louisville, then you have to assume you're going to be physical. You're going to have to respond to a challenge on a tough home court, and you're going to get the key players playing well. And those are all the areas of concern. And then you leave this game saying, wow, we are the team we thought we were.
It's a true road game, okay? You're going to be in there, 22,000 people, and on game day, that place is crazy. It's a level above, just like Rupp is when Louisville is in there. So if you go in there and you get confidence for Noel and Poitras that you go in that environment and take care of business, then it kind of catapults you up through the rest of the season. Now,
what will you do?
The opposite happens. The opposite happens here.
You have a lot of questions to answer. When you look at this game, this is, always there's a random guy that steps up. Josh Harrelson a couple years ago had a great game. I look at Peyton Siva and Russ Smith, two phenomenal players having a great season, but over the course of their career have been very up and down.
Sure.
Louisville fans, are they confident in those two guys? You feel like they finally arrived, this is consistent, you can count on? And are they the keys to maybe winning this game?
Well, you're hoping they don't do too much. Like they believe they have to do too much. So they're just trying too hard. Relax, let the game come to you. What you want to happen is Peyton Siva still likes to foul out even though he's a senior. So if he gets 2 quick ones in the first half and he has to sit for 15 minutes of the first half and Russ is running the show or Hancock is at the point rather than him, that's what you want. And then you want Russ taking too many quick shots in the clock and missing those. So if that happens and you're dominating the block, you could go into the first half winning by 6 or 7, you got a chance.
Look inside your crystal ball. You don't have to give us a score or anything, but your prediction for what we're going to see on Saturday from these two teams, how you think this game's going to play out. Ugly game? I feel it's going to be an ugly game.
I think so. I think it possibly could. I think Kentucky will keep it close. I really do. I think it's going to be the perimeter versus the post. I think that Noel and Willie Cauley-Stein will have a great day. I don't think it'll be Poitras. I think it'll be Willie Cauley-Stein and Noel, and I think it'll be a Louisville win by about 5. I think at the end it'll be close, about 4 to 6 points, but Russ, put the ball in Russ's hands. He's almost automatic from the free throw line. It goes, towards the end, I think they win it with that.
Tony, thank you very much. Can we get some spirit fingers before we go? The cheerleader spirit
Let's
fingers?
go, Cards! Pat Hickman's the greatest coach of all time.
Good having you back, Tony.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it,
Fist
man.
bump. There we go.